Welcome back to HIM tutorials. Second chapter microorganisms is going on and subtopic nitrogen fixation as nitrogen cycle we are doing. So under the nitrogen cycle we are going to discuss the learning objectives today, that is nitrogen fixation. We will complete the nitrogen fixation, then we will go for the assimilation and finally the ammonification. So let's start. We have discussed up to biological nitrogen fixation, that in biological nitrogen fixation the symbiotic and non-symbiotic organisms are participating, and if we go for the symbiotic, then they are again divided into two types, that is leguminous plants and non-leguminous plants. So what are leguminous plants? Let's check first. As leguminous plants are those plants which have a nodule like structure, these round nodule like structures in their root hair. Normally plants do not have such type of nodules, but the leguminous plants, they have these kind of nodules in their root, or you can say in their root hairs, to just fix the atmospheric nitrogen with the help of bacteria. So let's see what is going on here. So in biological nitrogen fixation, in case of leguminous plants, a special kind of bacteria called as Rhizobium leguminosarum, this will fix the atmospheric nitrogen, but it will fix the nitrogen in very particular condition. As first condition is aerobic and second condition is anaerobic. So in aerobic condition means there is presence of oxygen, and in anaerobic means there is absence of oxygen. So the leguminosarum will not fix the nitrogen in the presence of oxygen, but in the absence of oxygen it will fix the nitrogen for the plant. And how the leguminosarum will fix the nitrogen, let's see. We will discuss with the help of two steps. First is formation of nodule, and second is the nitrogen fixation. In nodule. So if I go for the nodule formation, so in nodule formation, simply this is the root hair, this is the main root, and this is the root hair. When the seed is sown and the plants starts growing up, that time the roots were normal, but what happened later on, in the soil there is presence of this bacteria, that is Rhizobium bacteria, Rhizobium leguminosarum is present there, and it will lead to infect the root. The infection was done by the Rhizobium bacteria into the root hair, and due to the infection the root hair will become this curved structure, and this curved structure is called as nodule. Now in this nodule there is presence of special kind of enzyme that is called as nitrogenase, and this nitrogenase, with the help of this bacteria, it will lead to fix the atmospheric nitrogen for the plant. How? Let's see. So once the nodule is formed, the nitrogen fixation in the nodule will take place, and it will take place with the help of nitrogenase. As I had discussed with you earlier here, that this Rhizobium bacteria, Rhizobium leguminosarum, that will fix the nitrogen in the absence of oxygen. So leguminosarum, with the help of this nitrogenase enzyme, the hemoglobin, a special kind of pigment which is called as leg hemoglobin, that is present in the nodule, and this leg hemoglobin that will squench means that will eat up the oxygen, to create the anaerobic condition. And when the anaerobic condition was formed, that time the Rhizobium leguminosarum, with the help of the nitrogenase, it will fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the ammonia. So from the atmosphere, the free nitrogen is now fixed into the ammonia under the biological nitrogen fixation. Now the second step we will go for. The second step is assimilation. As we have discussed in our previous lecture, that the nitrogen is also fixed by two more processes, that is the atmospheric nitrogen fixation and industrial nitrogen fixation. Atmospheric nitrogen fixation and industrial nitrogen fixation. That time the nitrogen was fixed in form of nitrates, or you can say nitrites. Now these nitrates are present in the soil. These are in the soil, and if these nitrates are present in the soil, then from the soil, with the help of this rhizobium bacteria, the plant will absorb. What the plant do? Plant will absorb this nitrate and convert it into the amino acids, and finally these amino acids are converted into the complex proteins. As plants are fixing these proteins, as plants are absorbing these nitrates and converting it into the proteins, so that time they are called as the plant protein. Now these plants, or you can say the plant proteins, are eaten up by the herbivores. These herbivores are those which have plants in their food. Now the plant protein is entering the body of herbivores, and these herbivores will change the plant protein into the animal protein. Now these herbivores are eaten up by the carnivores. And again the animal protein is transferred to the carnivores. So let's see it again. Nitrates are present in soil. They are absorbed by the plant. Now when plant absorb the nitrates, they will form the amino acids, and on the whole they will form the proteins, complex proteins in the body. These proteins are present in the plant body, so that is why it is called as plant protein. Now plants are eaten up by the herbivores, and herbivores are the plant eating animals, so they will form the animal protein with the help of this plant protein in their body. Once the animal protein is formed, these herbivores are eaten up by the carnivores. So animal protein is again changed to more complex protein. And also if we take in consideration, then humans are also there. Humans are also having plant protein and animal protein in their body. So like this, the nitrogen is being assimilated in the body of the living organisms. Maybe it plant, maybe it animal, maybe it human. So this is all about the process of assimilation. Now the next process, the last objective of the day, that is ammonification. Now what will happen in this ammonification? Finally, this complex protein which is present in the body of all the three, plants, animals and humans. Plants, animals and humans. Now all the three will die out, and when all the three will die out, then their body will start decaying with the help of decomposers, and these decomposers you can exemplify by bacteria and fungus, fungi. Now these bacteria and fungi decompose the body of plants, animals and humans, and in whole what is there in the body of plants, animals and humans? Complex protein is there. Now again they are changing this complex protein into the ammonia. So like this, again the nitrogen from the atmosphere is fixed by the plants in the form of ammonia and in the form of nitrates. They are taken up by the plants from the soil, then they will form the plant protein. Plants are eaten up by the animals, they will form the animal protein. Both plant protein and animal protein is eaten up by the humans, and finally in the process of ammonification, plants, animals and humans all will die out. When they will die out, their bodies are decomposed by the decomposers. They are the bacteria and fungi, and again the complex part of the protein that will change into the ammonia. So this is all for the main objectives of the today, that we have understood that how biological nitrogen fixation will take place. Then again we have understood that how their nitrogen, which is fixed by the plants and fixed by the atmospheric nitrogen fixation and industrial nitrogen fixation, that was assimilated in the body of the living organisms, that is animals, plants and humans, and finally due with the help of ammonification, again that complex form of the protein is changed into the simple form, that is ammonia. So this is all about today. So in next session we will discuss about nitrification and denitrification. Up to then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you so much.